Hey Schwartz Force, as you can see in the title of this video, I have some rather sad news to share with you. And the reason I'm not facing the camera this time is that delivering this news is too painful to do in one take. In fact, the audio you're listening to has been recorded over many times. My YouTube journey has been an absolutely incredible one, meeting amazing people from around the world. Countless friendships have been created, and exciting collaborations with brand owners and companies has given me a unique behind-the-scenes experience that I have thoroughly cherished and enjoyed. And I could not have done this without the support of all of you, through the thick and thin, from the beginning all the way up to now and beyond. I have incredible fans and supporters, followers and subscribers. But on November 19th, 2021, my number one fan passed away. My mother, Rebecca Ann Schwartz. I wanted to personally thank you all for the amazing love and support you have given to me and to her, as well as to my family. Many of you didn't have to do or say anything, but you took the time from your lives to reach out and send messages and gifts of love and prayer. Communities in every corner of the earth have been praying for my mom, from tiny islands like Aruba to larger islands like the Philippines, in the UK, Japan, India, China, Canada, Mexico, from sea to shining sea right here at home. And that's just naming a few. It's incredibly humbling and astonishingly touching. Thank you. This is a watch channel after all, so you know I wouldn't leave you without some exciting watch content. When my grandfather passed away in May of this year, I inherited his 1984 Seiko two-tone day-date watch. It's beautiful, with the champagne dial, thin case shape, thin gold tone bezel. I set the date and the time to remember his passing. It's a piece that I wear for the love, not to tell the time. Being that he was my mother's father, I had been thinking about which piece to buy to remember my mother's love with, to wear and remember her by always. I had even gotten the okay for my wife to buy my grail, the Blancpain 50 Fathoms 5015, but I passed on that. Now, those of you who know me must think I'm crazy to do that. I have wanted that Blancpain for so long now. But the reason I said no was because I found the perfect watch to memorialize my mother with. Besides, I am a Tudor bro for life. I will make a video to share more about this watch, but I wanted something in the same design language as my grandpa's, but with a modern take, with precious metals to last through time immemorial, with diamonds to give a touch of elegance and beauty. It is, in my opinion, the perfect watch, and I'll tell you all about it soon. At my mother's funeral, I had given a eulogy that seemed to really move and touch people, even strangers like the workers at the funeral home. Enough so that people have even asked me for copies of it. So I feel perhaps it's worth sharing here to allow others to be comforted and to benefit from. For those of you who know of me, but don't really know me, I can be a bit selfish from time to time. It would be so much easier for me to stay seated and allow someone else to stand up here and speak. But my mother would want me to be here in front of you. She would tell you that I am gifted with words. Finding the right words can be like learning where to place your fingers on the fretless neck of a violin, each string able to produce these brilliant and beautiful sounds that in succession become a melody, that in turn become a song. If that is so, then please know that I have carefully chosen each word I'm about to speak, and I hope what I say here tonight will bring you comfort and impact each of you in your own way. If you have lost a loved one to cancer, then you and I are connected through an experience that is without a doubt juxtaposed with moments that are equally horrific and beautiful. Horrific in that the disease not only robs one of their life, but of their personality, their smile, and their hope. Robs one of their plans and dreams. Horrific in that there is no one to be mad at, no one to blame, no one to hate. You get to sit there and watch, helpless. You get to sit there and take it. A beautiful experience in that, knowing of the coming end, my mother was able to let go of attachment to worldly things, possessions, and thoughts. I was fortunate to see her spirit blossom with a different kind of love that allowed her to share touching words with me that would not have happened otherwise. To have an embrace and a hug with her unlike any other before it. A beautiful experience that gave her the strength to forgive everyone in her heart and to ask for forgiveness, to leave it all at the altar of the Lord. She was able to see something I couldn't see, but when she explained it, I could feel it. And the crazy thing is that even though I could feel it then, I can't explain it to you now. The best way I can describe it is that she could love and appreciate everything about her life and who she had been. And just by looking at nature outside, she just knew there was more to this world, this life, this existence. It was extremely powerful and profound. The world is full of sorrow. The root of sorrow is attachment. The uprooting of sorrow means the uprooting, the dropping of attachments. My mother was a remarkable woman, as all of you already know. She always made me feel special. My wife would tell me that my mom is my #1 fan, and how true that is. The last conversation I had with her, I let her know that the love she showed me was the closest to God's love that I would ever experience on this earth. Her unconditional love was like having a living fragment of the unending love Mother Mary has for each and every one of us. Finis vitae sed non amoris. The end of life is not the end of love. I will forever miss her positive and joyful attitude, immeasurable wisdom, insightful advice, and comforting love. I have quickly realized over the last couple months that all of my reasons to be sad and to cry are selfish, and so are yours, and that's okay. I know that some of you were shocked to learn of her passing, maybe even felt upset or betrayed that she did not reach out directly. But please know that her decision was not coming from any feeling of bitterness or to hurt you in any way. It was simply just too painful for her to face, to have to constantly explain her situation over and over, and to have requests of updates on how she's doing day by day. To have to explain and admit that she is closer to death that day than the day prior. You may not realize it, but in her doing this, she gave you all a gift. You get to remember her at her best. What my family saw and experienced is a cross that we all must bear. But you get to recall only beautiful and loving moments you had with her, and I humbly implore you to cherish them, please. The loss of our amazing Becky will be felt throughout the world, literally. Like the aftershocks of an earthquake in moments of stillness, the grief and pain shakes us to our core unexpectedly. And how could it not? As a teacher for over 27 years, I can't begin to imagine the number of lives she impacted. So many students and colleagues blessed with her kindness and intelligence. Her involvement with the Lady Lions Club blessed our community with her charitable and altruistic ambitions. In my last conversation, I sat by her side holding her hands, and she told me she wasn't sure if she completed what she was meant to complete in her life. It confused me for a moment, and I had let her know that I believe her last mission was to take care of her dad, and she accomplished that mission. She truly honored thy father and thy mother. Mom, you had wondered if your life left an impact on the world, behold. All of you being here tonight is just a glimpse, a sliver, a twinkle of the star that she was throughout her life. And like a star, long after it has burned out, the light it produced travels endlessly throughout the universe, forever. Tempus fugit, memento mori. Time flies, remember death. I was naive to think I would have my mother in her life well into her 80s or 90s. I will not make that mistake again. If I'm being honest, no time would have ever been the right time. 75, 85, 105. I would have always wanted just a little bit more. Going forward, I will truly cherish all the time I get to spend with my family and friends, keeping in mind that death awaits. Because too often, we forget that each day is a blessing. Every one of us gets the same 24 hours in a day. Choose how you spend that time wisely. I feel my soul reaching past the miasma of despair, and I can almost feel her. How badly I want to hold her and have her hold me back. And I catch myself as I'm driving and I turn down my parents' street. I get this flutter of excitement in my heart, quickly extinguished by reality, almost as quickly as it appears. She is gone physically, but I can feel her with me, by me, in me, all around me. I know that she lives on through each of us in her own special ways. I recently had a conversation with one of my best friends. He offered me some comforting words. He explained about a time when we were very young men. He could barely afford food after paying his bills and rent. And though he didn't ask for help, my mom had insisted we go shop for food to bring him. We showed up to his apartment with tons of food, and good stuff too. His pride may have initially made him feel a bit upset at that time for us doing that, but looking back, he told me that he was thankful for it. That is how my mother was. Endlessly giving and considerate, thoughtful and loving. This friend then told me about this time he was going to do a job interview and asked a buddy of his for some advice on what to wear, since he didn't have a suit. His buddy told him, meet him at the department store, and the reason was so he could buy him a nice suit to wear and to have. His buddy was me, and he revealed that it was just one example of my mom living in me. Her illuminating gifts passed down through me to shine on others. I am certain that she lives within and through you all as well. I emphatically believe that she is in heaven now. My beautiful wife has been an angel to this family. She brought me back to God. She saved my life. And as a result, together we did everything we could to ensure that Becky's soul would be prepared for the afterlife. Nothing was skipped or forgotten. Countless rosaries, novenas, prayers, and intentions have been said around the world for Becky, many done together by my amazing family. My mother's illness brought my family closer, spiritually closer, and the one rock we could all lean on collectively was our Lord, as it is now and ever shall be. My family is absolutely devastated with the loss of Becky, but please send all your prayers and love to my dad. You see, Julie, Margie, Rosie, Freddie, and I didn't have to do anything for Becky's love. Being the oldest sibling, she had been in each of their lives for the entirety of them. The same for Julie and I, of course. But my dad? To find his soulmate? To earn and keep her love every single day? For over 46 years, he will have it the hardest. Console him, pray for him. Dealing with death is hard, but so is dealing with life. And both are intertwined like the very DNA that makes each of us beautiful and unique. And you cannot control how or when you die, but you can control how you live. My mother lived her life well and loved her life, and all of you in it. Celebrate her, honor her, remember her. The world is full of sorrow. The root of sorrow is attachment. The uprooting of sorrow means the uprooting, the dropping of attachments. Finis vitae sed non amoris. The end of life, but not of love. Tempus fugit, memento mori. Time flies, remember death. You haven't come this far just to give up. So if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you must keep moving forward. Love each other.